Hi, everybody. Sandy Kreisberg flying solo Friday with Sandy's. We have a guest this Friday, Yaj Bhatti. Yaj, why don't you say hello and wave and just tell us
Hi.
briefly what your story is?
So I am a civil engineer. I'm still studying. I'm in my final year, and I'm planning to apply for the deferred programs
Okay,
at
so
some
good. So
colleges.
Yash is a 2+2 deferred program kind of guy. So
Yeah,
this is what you need. The 2+2 programs are very, very hard to get into uh, at HBS and other schools. Not only do you need very strong statistics, you need something else magical. Okay, so let's start with the required part, Josh. You've got a 770 GMAT, right? That's good, right?
yeah.
Okay. Then where'd you go to college? What college are
So
you in now?
so I'm at Amity School of Engineering and Technology.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
So
not
that
ranked
let me
that
say
highly in
something.
India.
So Amity does not have a record of sending people to these 2+2 programs, right?
Yeah,
So that's something you're going to have to overcome. And the way you can potentially overcome it is that you're a real star there. You've got a 770 GMAT and you're first rank in your civil engineering department. Let me just say for the folks watching at home that civil engineering is a good thing to major in for 2+2. STEM they like STEM majors, and and civil engineering certainly counts for that. It's the E in STEM: science, technology, engineering, and I don't know what the M stands for, but you got it.
I think maths.
Math, yeah, very good. So you got all that stuff. So you've got a 770 GMAT. You're first in your civil engineering. Amity is, you know, they're not a feeder school for 2+2 programs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us why they should take you.
So I think I've had a lot of unique experiences while on campus, which have helped me develop my management skills. And I think, given my background and given,
No, no, you gotta. This is we want gotta be able to. We want your highlight reel. Do you know what that is?
uh, I
Highlight
would
reel
say,
is what they play on television when the sports casters,
yeah,
they go, here's a player, and he's been playing for 15 years and these are his best moments. Okay.
yeah.
I'm sure
So
you know what that is, right?
I've been the president of the entrepreneurship cell of my campus. So I think I've gained a lot of insight into the business world, which is not common for people my age in India, because we are not allowed to choose our minors here. So I've got a lot of diverse experience regarding business. I've done some internships which are not really open to undergraduates in the project management sector. So I think I've got a good understanding of
What are the,
how.
you got to be specific. Where have you
Yeah,
worked?
so I was a project management intern at Colliers International. It's an American company. They don't usually take undergraduates for project management positions because their requirements are basically a master's degree in management. But
Boy,
I
how'd you
managed
do
to
that?
get that.
That's good. You gotta convey that in your application and on your resume. So how did you get
Uh,
that gig?
so to start off with, I did a specialization from Columbia University on Coursera in project management. So that gave me the tools and the understanding of project management which was required. Then I networked through LinkedIn. I found out some
Good. Yeah,
folks. I
LinkedIn
went to,
networking. So that you deserve your fame. You deserve your accomplishment. You know all the tricks. So if your folks watching at home, you could take a page out of this guy's book. The first thing he does is he convinces his family to, you know, crack into their savings so he could take this course at Columbia. And then when he's there, he starts networking like crazy. Okay, that's the way it's done. It's a tough world out there, ladies and gentlemen. And then what'd you do?
yeah, and then I went to meet them at the construction site. It was an impromptu interview there. and then they were convinced that I
That's the way
had
it
the
happens.
skills.
Yeah, impromptu interview. So one of the big, most important things of your life just shows up. You know, you go to the construction site, you didn't know what was going to happen, and it turned out to be the interview, and you were
Yeah.
able to deliver. I'm impressed. What what uh, what other jobs have you had that have been powerful?
Yeah, so I've been working part-time with a non-profit organization called Womenite. So it works for women and children's rights. So what we do is we go to government schools run by the Delhi government. It is mostly the underprivileged who study in government schools in
Okay,
India.
so this is an organization that has connections with the government of India,
Yeah,
particularly
yeah,
the city of Delhi.
yeah. So we go there and deliver sessions on child sexual abuse and how to identify it, how to report it,
Yeah, good. Okay, that's an
those kind of
important
things.
issue. That's powerful and along. So you've got that's a do-gooder thing, and then you've got the Collier thing. So you got a lot of bases covered. Okay, give me a roadmap after business school.
So in the after business school, I plan to work for a short while in the real estate industry, either in the private equity funds which focus on real estate or in a real estate investment trust to kind of build up my experience because I want to launch my own west venture in real estate. It would be focused on it's a problem I've seen in India that people who do not have a lot of resources are not able to invest in real estate. So what the EREIT, it is a form of investment fund. It does is
Yeah,
take
yeah,
small
yeah.
investment from people. So
You
they
got to
are
get
able
this.
to,
Yeah, this is not TV ready yet. Okay, this story.
yeah,
Let me. But it's important that when you're interviewed for the real 2+2 program, you really have to be able to bang this out. Uh, you know, there's a watchword about interviews where you're not supposed to sound scripted. Okay, It-
yeah,
that's not going to be your problem. This part should be scripted. Okay, you
okay,
should have a pretty clear idea of saying, well, here's a tentative roadmap for me. After business school, I'd like to work with, like a big REIT, like, and then name a few, or if possible, a venture capital firm. I realize those jobs are very hard to get if you don't have experience in venture capital. And then
yeah.
after that, I want to do this, and then I want to do that. Okay, that's an important roadmap. Okay, here's another question. Let's turn this into sort of a mock interview. You know, name
Yeah.
someone whose job you would want, or name someone who's a role model for you in business, not.
Yeah, so there's this person in India called Mr. If I'm getting it right, Sanjay Chaturvedi. So what he
Yeah.
does it, he leads one of the first REITs in India for warehouses. He's focused solely on warehouses. He identified the opportunity early on that warehouses were going to be a big thing in India with
Uh-huh.
the advent of e-commerce. So he got there early. He raised a pretty good big fund, and now it's giving him great returns. So that is someone
He's
who
the. So what is his current title?
he's the founder of the REIT.
He's the
He
founder of a
founded.
REIT that deals
Yeah,
with warehousing. Yeah,
yeah,
that's great. That's a great answer because that really that's specific, it's knowledgeable, it makes sense, and it shows that you've investigated into this.
yeah.
Uh, who's a what's the best piece of advice anyone ever gave you? We'll make it tough here since you're so good. We'll
So
make them a little harder.
so this was my uncle, my uncle from the maternal side. What he told me was there's no substitute for hard work. Just because you're not from a IIT or something, you're not from the top college,
Yeah.
you might have to work harder,
Well, that's good
but the end
advice for your
results,
uncle. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, the end results are going to be the same if you work hard enough. It doesn't matter where you come from.
yeah,
It
what,
works.
what's the
ma-
what's the second best piece of advice you ever got? That's great advice, but it's a little generic.
Yeah. So I would say the second best piece of advice from actually the head of department at civil engineering. He kind of saw that I was involved in a lot of things in my first 2 years on campus, and it was kind of stretching me. I was not able to devote that much time to the classroom. So he told me that you should really prioritize what you want to do.
Oh, so your uncle said work hard, and then you were working hard, but you were working hard all over the place. And then you
Yeah,
met another guy who said, well, you got to keep working hard, but you got to focus. Okay.
yeah.
Those are two good pieces of advice. All right. Let me ask you this. Just getting back to engineering, like when I read your story, it occurred to me that, well, what's the state of, yeah, here's a wide open question. What's the state of infrastructure in India?
So infrastructure in India is going through, you could say, a boom since the last 20 years, I would say. Since 1991, there's been a really massive expansion of infrastructure across the country. It started with government projects because at that time the capital expenditure from companies was not that great. But since the 2000s, the economy has really picked up. And a lot of companies, like I said, the warehouses, it's growing at a phenomenal pace in India. The housing sector is growing at a phenomenal pace.
Yeah, my understanding of India is there's tremendous polarization of assets, of wealth, of
Yeah,
education. Is that's correct, right?
yeah.
Generally speaking, broadly speaking.
To a broad, yeah.
Yeah. What business school what business schools are interested in, particularly, well, the admissions committees of business schools, okay, are interested in people who want to, ameliorate, make better that polarization. They want to level the playing field. So
Yeah,
if you could spin all your, this is some advice, so you're between working hard, this is the third piece of advice you're getting from your uncle told you to work hard, and then your father told you to focus. Here's a third piece of advice from Uncle Sandy here. Okay, you should present yourself as someone interested in impacting that infrastructure problem.
yeah. So that is what the venture I plan to do. So it enables people with not huge amounts of money to invest in real estate, because the current REITs in India are only open to the big players, people who
Yeah.
want to invest 20 million, 30 million.
Yeah, okay. That's a good answer. But I think those people, I think the investors you're looking for, people who can't afford to invest in REITs right now, I don't think that group is on the poor side of the polarization. I
Yeah,
think those
I would say
people
the
are with the
middle income,
1%. Yeah,
the
right?
middle income.
Yeah, middle income, haha. Uh, if you combined all the rich people and the middle income people in India, how many people do you have as a
I
percent
would
of the
say the top
population?
5%, the top
Yeah,
5 to 10%.
I, I might agree with you. I might say uh, it's maybe the top 5% or 4%. Anyway, you get the idea. But that's an important way to present yourself. Okay, I think, and we're going to wrap up here. I think for 2+2, that is very hard. You come from a like a
Overrepresented group.
underrepresented school. Like that could be good. I mean, the schools might be interested in expanding their uh, footprint. Do you know guys from like IITs who've been accepted to 2+2? Do you know
Uh,
anyone in India who's been accepted to any one of these 2+2 programs?
I know a person of Indian origin. He went to Northwestern,
No, that's a
but he got
different
accepted.
bag. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So not at 2+2, but I know people who got accepted to Columbia, who got accepted to Chicago Booth Scholars. Not anyone from 2+2.
And where did they go to college?
They went to college at one of them went to Delhi College of Engineering, and one of them went
Good.
to IIT.
Okay. Well, you could do your school a favor, man. You could put them on the map. I think
Yeah.
you know, 2+2 is hard, but you've got a lot of goods. So, and you got your head straight. So I wish you a lot of luck. Okay. And check back for a mock interview if you apply. Uh,
So how would you rate my chances at, let's say, Virginia Darden? They have a future years scholars program.
50% or better. Uh, you present a lot. I don't know that program exactly, but you know, I think your chances there are good. Also, if you know, if somehow you don't get into 2+2, you know, you'll get in through the normal channel at a good place.
Yeah,
You've got a bright future there, Yash. Okay, it's good
yeah.
talking to you, and thanks for
Thanks.
being one of our candidates here. This is Sandy Kreisberg with Fridays with Sandy. Good luck to everybody, and keep watching this space. Thank you.